Well, the Rose of Tralee festival is well and truly underway, and in my opinion it's going exactly according to plan. Yes, until pretty much yesterday, the Rose of Tralee was a particular thing. Everybody, at least in Ireland and many other places, knew what it was, knew what it was about, knew what it was for, and who it was for. And look, I'm not going to go behind the door and say, look, I was an avid fan, I watched it, I was glued to the telly. I wasn't really. No, it wasn't really for me. It wasn't built for me, it wasn't meant for me. It was meant for other types of people, and good luck to them with all of it. Like bingo. You know, bingo is a large part of certain people's lives. Did I ever go to bingo? No. Do I want to? Not really. No. Maybe when I get really old I might. But it was a certain thing for a certain type of people, and it gave them great joy. And I say bravo and good luck to you all. Bingo on. Now, the Rose of Tralee has been weaponised. And I've said this before. It has been weaponised as part of this new fast-track multicultural experiment in Ireland, and we are having diversity rammed down our throats here in Ireland, whether we like it or not. And all the polls say we don't like it. We even had a referendum in 2004 which 80% of the public said, listen, we really don't like where this is going. We need to kind of put guardrails on this. And you know what the politicians did? They did exactly what politicians always do. They sold us out. They sold us out, and they are now undermining that referendum in every way they can, because, you know, democracy is really dead. It's just a sham now. And in fact, that referendum that was posed to us, the demos, in 2004, that referendum would never be posed to us now. They'd never ask us. Never. Why? Because they wouldn't want the answer. They wouldn't like the answer. And they'd know that they'd get an answer they absolutely would not like and would not want. So they wouldn't pose the question. That's how they do it now. If they think they're going to get an answer that they don't like, they just don't ask the question. And they circumvent the thing and get to where they're going without the public being involved, or at least minimally involved. Now, they did get a shellacking a couple of years ago, which they didn't expect. They really didn't. They were caught on the hop with that referendum about taking mothers, the Irish mammy, out of the constitutional cornerstone of Irish society and Irish life. They thought they could just take it. They were so modern now, and they got the public so propagandized that they could pull a move like that, and they got absolutely hammered. Good. Excellent. They were absolutely reamed in that referendum. Did it change them? No. Did it give them pause for thought? No. Did it change their direction? No. Everything is business as usual. They just thought, we're going to have to go about all of this nonsense a different way. We can't trust the plebs on this one. So into the mix, into the frame, comes one of Ireland's, well, it's an institution, one of Ireland's institutions, the Rose of Tralee Festival, County Kerry. That is the quintessential Irish brand, if you like. It's up there with Baileys and Guinness and Waterford Crystal and all that sort of stuff. The Rose of Tralee, it celebrates, or at least it did celebrate, everything that was particularly and uniquely Irish. And that went for not only people who are native, born here, bred here, going back countless generations here, but also for Irish people who were forced, for one reason or another, yes, forced to emigrate to foreign climes, but they still retained that sense of Irishness, that sense of Gaelic, that sense of the Gael, sense of the Celtic. They loved all of that kind of culture. They could also, this was their time to come into the fold, into the family, because we are an extended family now. But it is a family. That's my central point. It is a family. And not everyone can just fetch up in your front room and say, I'm part of your family now. That's not how families work. Never was, and it still is as far as I'm concerned. So the Rose of Tralee was a family event. It was the family of the Irish. And as we know with the leftists, they will not leave anything alone. No stone can be left atop another stone. Everything must be levelled until there's nothing left but rubble. And this year in particular, the lefties, the wokies, the progressives set their sights on dismantling one of the fewer and fewer remaining vestiges of old Ireland, the Rose of Tralee, and everything it meant. So they elected or selected a Muslim Somali heritage woman who was quite happy to go along with it seems, to be the Dublin Rose. Now, in my opinion, and I've said this in previous videos, the real Dublin Rose should have been, in my opinion, and I've said this, should have been Katie Traynor, as you can see here. Beautiful, gorgeous Irish girl, Irish Colleen. She should, in my opinion, have been the Dublin Rose. She should be in Tralee right now. And she would have been if the Dublin judging panel hadn't been selected from recipients of guide dogs for the blind, and also mandated by the progressive left woke DEI people, because they wanted a symbol and they got a symbol. So last night the rubber metaphorically met the road, and Suad Muga, the, in my view, usurper Dublin Rose, had to go out and do her stuff and actually perform, do her bit on the festival, as all of the Roses have to do. And she did. Now, as I said, I don't watch this as a rule, but when I have to do a video and I have to tell you things, yes, I have to look into it and I have to watch stuff. And yes, I did watch quite a bit of it. Not all of it, quite a bit of it. And I shout out to the Leitrim Rose, that lilting, that got me. Go on. Every Irish pub ever. With your uncle playing the spoons. Yes. Go on. Go on! Yes. That's Irish. Would you? Yes, yes. Well, Katie Traynor wasn't there because, as we know, she was DEI'd out of it. Give her the crown. That's, you know, your great uncle would be proud. He's up there playing his spoons along to that rendition. Absolutely marvellous. And 110% Irish. Bravo! Bravo, Catherine Cullen. Anyway, Suad Muga, the DEI hire, the usurper, in my opinion. Katie Traynor would have been out there and she probably would have, you know, give a bit of the old triangle, maybe. A Dublin Rose, she'd have given a bit of the old triangle, a rendition, an old heartfelt. She maybe would have told stories about the heroes, the Brian Boru, Battle of Clontarf. Maybe her ancestors were there, I don't know. She would have been able to do that, and I've no doubt that she would have done that or something similar. But Suad Muga, the Somali heritage woman, who's quite happy, was quite happy to be the symbol for anti-racism and for black people and for new to the parish people. And she came out there and she talked about anti-racism and racism and her journey with racism, and it was basically a woke agenda speech. And then she did her party piece, which was dancing. It was dancing, and I use that term loosely. Now, pay attention, 007, because this is how the mainstream media manipulate the general public. This is a very interesting lesson. This is the clip that RTE, the state broadcaster, the propped up, government-funded broadcaster, put out to the masses. I fall for Not exactly Irish music there. It's like something you'd see in a, I don't know, a cocktail bar, a wine bar, some kind of elevator music, as they call it. Definitely not Irish. Notice she has to always look down at her feet. That's, yeah, that's not what dancers do. They're taught not to look down at their feet. If you're looking down at your feet, you're not really a good dancer. Anyway, look, she's been programmed to do this. And to all you third, fourth, fifth, sixth, I don't know what, feminists out there, you'll notice that your poster child here is wearing trousers. Why? Well, because in her religion, she's not allowed to wear tights or a skirt. She can't show off her legs. And as you can also see, she's wearing a cap because she can't show off her hair. So that's modern progressivism. Women are celebrated now, it seems, by modern feminists for not being able to wear skirts, let alone short skirts, tights, or even show their hair. Welcome to modern Ireland. I wonder who's paying for those braces. If I was to have a guess, I'd say it's probably the Irish taxpayer. All right, so that's a load of wallocks. So you've watched that with me. Now let me show you how the media manipulate the general public in as much as they can. Not you and me, but the general public. Let me show you the bits that RTE clipped out of that little video, because that's what RTE does. They clip out the bad bits, they leave in the good bits. Watch this.
So now performing a fusion of Somali and Irish dance. Is she ready?
There's no fusion of Somali and Irish dance. It's not a thing. No.
She's not ready yet. I'm telling you, taking off that. She doesn't want to take it off. The Samoan Rush.
So here we have a modern Irish feminist sticking up for a primitive medieval religion, Somali woman who is trying to take off her headdress, or I don't know, her pants or whatever, because she cannot show her hair, she cannot show her legs, she has to be completely covered up. And here we have a modern, this is the craziness of this, a modern Irish feminist is sticking up, propping up, defending a woman who is from a primitive religion and backward culture.
But she is absolutely brilliant. I saw this in rehearsal, and it's a blend of Somali and Irish dance as well. She is good to go. Let's do it, my love. It is our Dublin Rose. So out, Moga!
Look, I might be just being an old fuddy-duddy here, but in what possible parallel universe has that nonsense got anything to do with Irish culture? Anything. Even a sliver. Even a mere tiny fractional cent. Let me know in the comments. What... All right, what do you think? I'm just going to come out and say what I think and what I believe. We are being erased. This is a deliberate humiliation ritual, and it has been done and foisted on the ordinary Irish people. There's nothing Irish about what you just saw there. That's an African dance done by an African heritage woman born in Ireland. But we had a referendum on that issue. But this is deliberate. They're shoving, they're cramming, they're ramming diversity down our throats, and they're making us feel that if we even stand up for our own people, our own heritage and our own ancestors and we are bad people. Well, I don't buy it. I'm not going to buy it. I never will buy it. I will not go, as I will do someday, to meet my ancestors in the hereafter. I will not go to them with my head bowed, with my eyes averted. I will not go to them having to answer questions about what did you do when everything was falling apart. No, I'll know what I did. I'll have done what I could. The question I ask you is, are you doing what you can?